Table Talk is not your typical D&D TTRPG podcast. We are not here to run you through our whole campaign.
We're here to talk about everything else in the space of tabletop roleplay.
I'm your host, Alejandra Wilhelm.
And I'm also your host, Mariah Gresham.
And we're your tabletop roleplay girlies. Alrighty, and we are live with another episode of Table Talk. Thank you guys so much for joining us yet again. It is just your Table Talk girlies, but there is an additional Table Talk girly that
Plus
you have
an
yet
extra
to
friend.
meet. Yeah.
Yeah. Secret friend.
Secret Table Talk girly. Go ahead and give us a little intro so that the audience can meet you for the first time.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's your editor, Kay, or, Audrey, as pretty much a lot of other people call me. Yeah, I am so excited to be hanging out with you guys today. A little background on me and who I am. I am an audio engineer. I work full-time in theater, so I travel a lot, and it's really wonderful. I also have worked at, Renaissance festivals for several years. Been doing D&D and all sorts of TTRPG stuff for ever at this point. But yeah.
Hell yeah. And you recently just got into a Candela Obscura one,
did.
right? That was streamed.
Mm-hmm. So we just started recording. So it's coming out in October, which I'm very excited for. Oh my god, it's already
season.
So good. It's literally perfect for spooky season. Oh my god.
Yay.
It's so good.
Incredible. I am hella debating doing a Candela Obscura one shot or 3-shot and stuff.
I really want to play it again.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
Do it. It's so worth it. It's so much fun. Oh my god.
I mean, you have to do a spooky one shot during spooky season.
You gotta do it.
It is absolutely necessary. We don't make the rules. We just have to follow them.
It's the law. They'll come take your books if you don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
A dragon will come to your house and take your books.
Get out of my house.
Who's to say whether we're going to leave it in?
Who's to say? But I don't know. I guess that's Kay's problem. You're here live and witnessing it.
That's a Kay decision. Truly.
This is
which one of our antics make it to God's light and which ones die in the abyss. Where they belong.
Listen, we're going to start with a tangent early on because you have no idea how many tangents I have from the two of you sitting in a folder. That's literally just I have one that's specifically named Funny K Mentions because anytime that y'all do something and I'm no, this has to be cut, I save it and put it into this folder so that way I just have it for later. Every mention that it's okay, and I'm it's going in the folder.
Yeah. You're I did not exist.
It's very funny because they never see the light of day, but it is us just very nervously being Kay, please cut this out. Please, Kay.
Oh, it's
we
so
need
good.
to do, that's what the reward needs to be for the Patreon, the second Patreon tier.
All the times you and I just fuck up.
Yeah.
Yes. All of my little deleted scenes.
Just
the
uncut. Yeah. All the little cut scrappings and trimmings from the cutting room floor.
Yes.
Yeah. If we do a Patreon soon, I am listening to a WoW podcast where their Patreon was just them going over people's guild drama and talking about it. You could do this where people just submit whatever bullshit they're enduring at their tables.
Literally, yes.
Yeah, that would be prime content.
On a real level, I think it would be so fun to do a little TTRPG table therapy or something where it's if you're in an awkward situation, kind of how you go to couples therapy or something that you could submit. Not we're not therapists, right?
No.
So it's unofficial, official with well intentions and no educational certificates. I have a BA in psych
with zero qualifications.
In fairness, it was industrial organizational psychology, which kind of applies to a table more than you would think.
Okay, but I kind of picture it as have you seen on TikTok the pink court?
You be on weird parts of TikTok that you say something to me with just all the confidence, and I'm I've never seen that in my life. Send it to me.
Okay,
but
the pink court is two fabulous women who hold a courtroom. And so like people bring in their like baby daddy drama and like whatever bullshit they're enduring. And it's like it looks like they are not judges. There are no lawyers. This is not official, whatever. But they're just like, no, we're just going to listen to the tea and we're going to call people out on their name and have receipts be presented.
Yeah.
And
that's what I want
mediate that out.
But like we can turn it around and like end it on a helpful note. Cause like it is fun. It's fun to just talk shit and just like let us be the bad guy. Like let us handle your
if like, you need someone to do the calling out, we will do it. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I think that would be fun.
That would be a good idea. I like that. But
good.
So you recently, Kay, had, because you're in New York, you had a really cool experience over at 20-Sided Tavern. You want to talk to us about it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So first of all, for people that don't know what the 20-Sided Tavern is, it is this really incredible show that is technically off-Broadway that basically they do a D&D game, like on stage, like they improv a lot of it. There's like, as with any D&D game, there is so much chaos that happens and fuckery and just all of the things. So yeah, it's a really great time. They're getting ready to have like some really cool guests coming up, which is really awesome for them. But yeah, so basically you get to like go into this theater and like play D&D with like an entire audience of people. And one of the things that you get to be a part of is you get to make choices that affect the story. So you get to decide whether or not they're going to go search this one part of town or another part. You get to either scream or raise your hand politely, and both count for getting to pick NPC names, and they are always hysterical, which will absolutely influence how they are portrayed in the story and how the rest of the story flows within that. And then, of course, you have the regular chaos of D&D with just dice rolling and all of, again, the fuckery that happens between a party of characters that you're like, yeah, absolutely. This goblin named Barry is counting bones in people. Sure, why not? Because yes, you can. So yes, you have all of that. But one of the really cool things is during Act 2 is there is a section where, it's the classic, a DM is talking to themselves as another PC, or NPC rather, and having this, like big dramatic, like monologue, like confession and all of the things. And this is like right at the top of Act 2. But instead of doing that, what they get to do is they send out a prompt to your device, and you can decide if you want to be considered to possibly like go up on stage to be a part of it, or if you're like, no, I just want to like sit back and enjoy the show. And I had already seen the show a couple of times at this point. I've seen the show like 5 times. It's fine. It's like, it's so great.
A totally normal amount of times.
An entirely normal amount. It's so worth it though. Like, and every single show is different, but it's so close. Yeah. So what was really fun was like the third time I went to go see it, I was like, yeah, sure. Like I'll put my, I'll put like my thing in whatever and be like, yeah, sure. I want to like, possibly go up on stage and all the things. And I got so lucky that not only did I get to go up, but the cast remembered me from the first 2 times I had gone to see it.
I love that.
So they were really excited that I got to like go up, and they were like, yes, they were like really excited for it. So yeah, so I got to like go up and you get this like wizard's like cape cloak thing, because you get to be the voice of like the powerful wizard in the story for a moment that's, talking to their apprentice that turns out to be, spoiler alert, a bad guy in the story. But it was a lot of fun. So yeah, so you get to go up, you get to be dramatic, you get to be on an off-Broadway stage doing D&D with people, and it's all of the chaos in the best way.
That's fucking so incredible.
Cool. I love that.
God. Yeah. I've seen the reels and stuff pop up on my Instagram, and I'm like, as soon as the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, I want to go. Of course, it's in fucking New York, and I'm in Texas of all places, so I was like, God fucking damn it. So I got so hyped whenever you were like, I did a thing, and like watching the little video of you was like, so fun.
It's literally so good. And the way that, like, oh my god, just like also the theater itself, like you walk in and you go up to the second level where like the entrance is to go inside. It's literally decked out in all of the things, and you're like, this is the perfect starting point for any game. Because you've got like the bars, you've got it like the tavern vibes. They have a giant like mimic like chest that has dice in it that you can take a d20 just because you can.
Aww.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's like so cool. And then you go inside and you see this incredible set. And so it's just like, it really gives like the best cozy, chaotic D&D vibes. Like literally it's so good. Ugh, just love.
In fucking incredible. Well, one, it's also such a smart idea because like, yeah, like you said, every single time is going to be different because that is the nature of the game and the whole bag around it. And yeah, like, Mariah, do you think you would volunteer if we went?
I've been thinking about it. It would. Oh, I would want to see it first.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to like experience the show first, just because one of like I want to have like that experience as an audience member, and then also it's different every time. But I'm like I want to know the full scope of what's because I'm anxious, right? After that, I think. Under the right circumstances, potentially. I think
so
you
good.
would.
The Leo and me.
You would immediately jump up there. Immediately.
Yeah. Like,
so this is one of
definitely...
They give the audience the option, and I'm already on stage.
Like, I'm on.
Yes.
I'm already in I'm under the table.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm in the mimic. The mimic is me.
I've shoved the DM aside, and I've taken control.
Yeah. Like, my natural habitat is definitely more... like writing the story behind the scenes. That's definitely more where I just naturally fit. But like every once in a while I'm down to do some wilder shit. It would be cool to do.
Yeah. No, I can see myself going a little crazy, a little ham.
So this is one of the other things. I forgot to mention this. One of the other things that they do is because also this is just a really great introduction to like D&D in general. I took a friend literally today to go see the show because we were talking about it and I was like, yeah, this is actually like, you know, talking about D&D and all of the things and whatnot. And he was like really interested. And I was like, actually, I was like, if you're not busy, I was like, I was planning on going back for the matinee and we can go see it and like hang out. So we went to like Go 5 and he knew nothing about D&D, like absolutely nothing, like had heard about it and like was like kind of interested, but didn't really have any kind of like framework for how things worked and all of that stuff. And it's such a good introduction for that. It's so good. Like, they explain things without feeling like it's dumbed down. Like, they give you enough context, but also aren't, like, bogging you down with, like, all of the mechanics and, like, all of the rules and things, which is, like, really, really cool. But one of the first things that they do is after, you know, they, like, officially start the show and they're, like, getting the ball rolling, going, great, cool, like, we're going on an adventure, this is how things are going to work, is they explain the mechanics of rolling dice. And what happens if you roll a natural 20 and a natural 1 of like really, really great things happen for a natural 20 and the worst possible outcome happens with a natural 1. And then they immediately go, all right, we need a like really like excited, very thirsty volunteer.
Okay.
When I tell you the first time I went to go see this, my hand shot up so fast.
Like,
well, yeah, because
it is me.
I imagine thirsty in all contexts.
In all contexts, which is exactly why I raised my hand. I was like, "It is me, thank you. Yes, hi, hello." So I go up, and like this was also like it was so dumb because you know those like little tiny like microphones on TikTok that are on sale right now.
Yes,
the like little ones. Yeah, like those ones. I had one because, you know, I'm with one of my friends and we're like taking like little snippets of videos and whatever. I forgot that it was on my person when I walked up. And the guy that brought me up literally went, is that a mic? And I go, yeah. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. But then like we go up and they're like, oh yeah, you know, like here's like this like ambrosia, which is like apple juice. And then they're like, and a dastardly poison, maybe, probably pickle juice. We don't really know. And so then they bring out this, like, massive D20 that they call the decider. And you get to, like, roll it so that way they can, like, again, like, get the audience involved, like, tell them, like, about the mechanics and things like that. And so you get to, like, roll this, like, huge D20, which is fucking incredible. But literally, the way that you're, like, you would be the first person up. You would be like, hi, hello, this is me. You're like, right here, thank you.
Yeah, and I'd see it roll 1 and I'd nudge it.
It's like crazy. She was on an uneven surface.
Yeah, it was.
You're like, oh no, I have to re-roll.
I just scream, honor the cock, and then push it with my foot.
I'm dead.
You just punt it into the audience, just like soccer kick it into those just cool.
Because I will not be embarrassed like this on a stage. Are you fucking kidding me? No.
To get a 1 on
to get a 1 on a
is
stage?
rough.
No.
You want to at least get a 2. Right? You want to not.
Yeah, I'll take a 2 and take whatever is the level up from pickle juice.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with the fact if it's pickle juice, that I have pots, that's fine. I'd be sipping that shit out of the fridge just if I get a little dizzy sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's the disrespect. I feel like the fates don't want me there if I get a 1.
Correct. And that's simply not allowed.
Crush me as a being.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Incredible. But that's awesome. I love that happened, that you got to not only go once. I didn't know that you had gone multiple times. But
No, I literally keep going back because it's like, well, I'm not busy and it's starting in like 10 minutes and it's right down the street. So
yeah. Especially
I can buy a ticket.
A little Sunday matinee moment. Like,
yeah. It's great. If
I lived in New York, I feel like the temptation to go to Broadway shows and theater shows, like it's a movie theater, unstoppable.
Literally, that's how I feel about this right now. Is I'm like, it's like going to the movies and like also getting popcorn and a drink and all the things. So
what am I supposed to do? Not go watch Hadestown again? Like, what do you want from me? I'm just a girl.
Listen, I keep trying to go back to see Hadestown, but then I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money when I can go spend $7.
Hadestown do be expensive. Yeah, big, good seats at big musicals do. It depends on the theater, like how big. Yeah,
that show is so good, though. Oh my god, it's incredible.
I would love to see it. I want to see if it's coming. I don't know if they're going to do. I mean, I would love to like see the original. Like, it's not the original cast anymore, but see the New York cast. But
the New York cast is incredible right now.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Like you've got Jordan Fisher, you've got Myra. I forget how you say her last name. It starts with an R. She was in Pretty Little Liars. You have Philip, who's incredible. You have Stephanie Mills. You have Yola. Like, you have incredible people. This is the cast that I went to go see like a month ago. Oh my god, they're incredible. They're so good. Like, when I tell you, I cried for 80% of the show. I mean, I literally started crying and I didn't stop until intermission. And then, like, 5 minutes into Act 2, I started crying again.
The first time I fully listened to it, I was at my parents' house. I was just like out on the front porch, swaying because Southern life, just listening to it, just openly weeping. Yeah. And like people would just drive by our house, and I'm sure they were like, "Why is there a young woman sobbing on those people's porches?"
On the porch.
Thankfully, no one asked me.
Thankfully, everyone's too Southern to ask.
Yeah.
Yes. They're like, bless your heart, I'm gonna walk away.
That's not my business.
Not my business whatsoever. No, yeah, I would be one weird just like play and musical sluts.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I mean, having moved back to Houston, I am kind of foaming at the mouth because the Houston theater scene is very good. I need to look into that and see what's like coming around on the touring circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
but New York just hits different.
It's so good, and like part of it too, and like because this is me being a sound nerd and audio engineer of all the things. Part of what hits different too is when you see it in New York versus when you see it on a tour or when you see it at whatever theater that it like really got its start at, right?
That it was like meant to be in. Yeah.
Yeah. It is meant to be in this space. It was designed with this theater in mind to fully engage the audience in every aspect that you can.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you take that out onto tour, it is not that the tours are any less effective, that they are like worse by any means. Like, it is not saying that at all.
Yeah,
because there is an art to touring, and there are so many people that like can't make it to New York. So the fact that like we have the opportunity to like travel these stories to bring them to other people is also incredible. Like, there's so many things about that are also beautiful. Because then also like in touring, then like those actors like also become like really, really close. That entire team, you're literally living and traveling and working together. Like you do almost everything together. So like there's a bond there as well that like you might not have somewhere else. But when it comes to like sound specifically, like specifically with Hadestown, right? As like the example, when that, like when you step into that theater for Hadestown, it is so intimate and it is so like small that even the quietest moments fill the space so well. And it hits your heart and it just like, it makes you feel so many things in all of the best and also sometimes the worst ways. Because it's like you're grieving with these characters, but also you are rejoicing with them and everything in between, right? And like that experience is so precious to be able to like have that experience in the theater that it was like designed for is so incredible. It's so good. It's so good.
100%.
100%.
How do you think, one, your experience with like both theater in general and then also like when you would go to like Renaissance fairs and all of that, how do you think that has influenced like your style of play in TTRPGs or vice versa? Because you are as like theater kid as it gets.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's like a picture of Kay in the dictionary next to theater kid. If you look on Urban Dictionary, like Kay's just there. Next to it, it's just Kay.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it has made me very dramatic, to say the least. When it's comedy, and it's very light, and it's very funny, and we're here for it. And when it is very intense or dark, it is very much so that. That is also probably a little bit of the Gemini in me, but we're not going to talk about that.
Okay. Two things can be true.
Yeah.
Two things can be true. Both. But yeah, so it definitely has impacted, like, my gameplay and my storytelling in that. Because, especially because, like, okay, so, like, Ren Fair specifically. I love working Ren Fairs so much. They are so much fun. I feel so at home there in so many different ways. But one of the things that I, again, was very fortunate to be able to do was pursue an education in acting for stage and screen. And in that, I got to do a lot of work on Shakespeare stuff. Which literally gave me so much love for Shakespearean work and like actors that do really well with it, because it is a bottomless well that you can never hit the bottom of, literally, in any Shakespearean piece. There is always more to find. There's always something new. There's a new interpretation. There's all of these different things, right? So there's so much play within that. But that made me very dramatic in all of my storytelling outside of that, because you see in like Shakespearean shows, like what my favorite one is a Scottish play, and there's so much in that. Like they have moments where it is like pure love and joy, and you're like, yes, for a brief moment you have that, but then there's so much else that's tied up into it that's like complicated. There's the like path unwinding of all of the different like chain reaction of events that they set off, right? And so in my storytelling, I, love a good sob story, good backstory that makes you want to cry, which is very true for the character you all met me as Kay.
That's why we call KK. It was from a character, Yeah,
and it was like literally, I remember that first scene in The Ocean's Pride, and it was with Oak too, which is like, I still think is hysterical. Literally, I was like, what trauma can I give this character?
Right.
To be like, what horrible thing did she have to endure to like get to where she is? And like, why is she here now? And so because of that, then my brain went, oh, well, if this happened, if she's a runaway, like what's she running from? And, like, does she talk about that? Is that something that, like, she's involved with? And so it just kind of became this, like, I dissected a lot and went, okay, what other, like, layers of, like, juicy, like, drama and, like, family issues or, like, relationship or whatever, and, like, all of these things, like, can I layer in there while also having this character that, much like myself, is still very welcoming, is still very, like, generally happy. And it's like, no, like, I want to be happy. Like, I want to have these things, but, like, also going, like, no, but, like, there's so much at stake for me to like work through and like to literally like fight in battles to like be able to be like, no, I'm actually going to be happy. And like, you know, I'm going to survive.
It's the kind of like swan under the surface of like the chaos of the feet kicking, but then everything just looks like smooth as glass out on the top.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so it's definitely like, I have found that apparently I have an art for really quippy one-liners that apparently is true in real life as it is in gaming. Because in the Candela stream that's coming up in the last episode that we just recorded, there was a moment where my character, Theodora Popov, aka Theo, if you will, was talking to a certain person on the ship that they were on, and kind of got like not sassy, but very like a little intimidating as she is, and basically looked at this character and went, "Listen, I've been on the front fucking lines. Like, you're gonna tell me what you know right now? Like, I've seen horrible shit." And everybody gasped, and they were like, "Oh my god." And then afterwards I was like, "I'm so sorry." And they're like, "Don't apologize, that was great." And I was like, okay.
It is a time whenever like the spirit possesses you in the moment, and then like you register the effect it had on the people at the table. You're like, "Oh, my bad."
You're like, was that chill?
Literally.
Was that fine?
Yeah.
Like, I think we had a moment in our like Alderan campaign just before like Mariah left that campaign where we were like in a mansion. It was like a murder mystery situation, and we were like confronting basically everybody that was in the mansion, trying to figure out who the murderer is. And like, this is a like old Western setting. There's like a big presence of like church power, and I'm part of the church. And so because there was no other like real person of authority, I like basically like used mom voice at the table to the point where like my DM and everyone else at the table was like, "Oh," and I was like, I was just wanting to establish real clear that nobody's leaving this room until I'm
we love.
But like I raised an octave and they were like, "Oh shit, okay,
like, all right, got it."
You're like, "All right,
my bad,
fair enough, fair enough."
Yeah.
God, it's time. I love those moments though.
It's so good.
Like when you really just like slip into the character and it becomes like that's
yeah. Or like I've gotten to the point where I'm more comfortable in some of our like more like bad characters in Strixhaven to where like I actually feel like the last time we got to play, I could genuinely play the toxic dad figure.
Yeah, that was good.
Love.
And like another instance of like I did pop off and like raise my voice at my player a little bit, and they were like, "That was so good."
Yeah, and like Alyssa and I were sitting there. I was like, I feel like I'm in trouble, and my character's not even here. And like me as a person, I'm not even. I was like, what did I do? And I was like, oh, I don't think this is about me.
This is not even
just a bystander.
This is not even about me.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely feel you on the. I think my like if I had to paint what my ideal like style of play, my ideal kinds of games are, like 100% a roleplay girly. We've done been new.
Yes.
But like I'm just a big fan of I love stories that have a lot of like complex narratives, and then also like I am a sucker for a tragedy situation.
Yeah.
So like whether it's in your backstory or in the current big like self-sacrificial hero or woman or both. Yeah, it could be sad in the back end and the front end.
Started sad and it stays sad, baby.
Absolutely.
We hit rock bottom and kept digging.
Yeah, but like in that same vein of like having a like my self-insert for my characters is having a character that like does care deeply about the people that are close to them and will like be protective to their own detriment type deal. And like will be friendly and like nurturing and all of these things, but also have all the bullshit in their backstory that's like just kind of looming, waiting to happen. And then having that element of like fighting to keep the peace and the love that you have, like, and trying to protect that so that they feel like they earned their happiness at the end.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. That's definitely like the area I like to kind of vibe in.
I love playing with power and like the dynamic between like having the absence of no power and then absolute power, if that exists. So like in Strixhaven, like when we were mocking out like Anya's death god, it's like how he became a god, and then it was really this kind of like series of unfortunate events that he did it to try to reclaim something that he can never really reclaim because like his lover died and she's gonna stay dead, even if you're just gonna be steward over what's left of her. So it's that kind of that tragedy of you do something awful and gain all this for nothing, really, because you're just gonna be miserable forever. Now, whereas if you would have stayed mortal, you would have just died at some point and been with them. But now you're not, because you're the god of death. And I love that, like, Call's character being, of course, like, because we've had like fun discussions of like what would happen if like Reyna or Oak died, and it's like, yeah, there's no bargaining for that soul back because that's as close to absolute power as you get, because unfortunately. And I like the same with like VTM and like playing with those levels of like position versus influence and like who is titled and who is tied to what courts and what that means. And then because like some of our most interesting and most dynamic and presumably powerful characters aren't titled right now, like NPC. I say our, I mean Kay and Matt, because Kay knows more, and then Ollie doesn't get to know because we're not there yet.
I have beef that you don't get to know yet.
I hate when my own people have been scalped.
Truly, I did. I stole Oak and Kay, and I was like, "Hi, bitches! Welcome to the Vampire Thunderdome.
Listen,
we live here now."
Listen,
yeah, and then now Bex is about to steal y'all too, because Bex is starting her own thing, and then she was like, "Can I have some people for a DM council of my own?" And I was like, "Just take Kay and Oak." Just
okay. I do have to say, because like nobody saw that facial expression I just had.
No.
The way I just got so excited.
I know, because you're just a black hole for tea.
I just collect stories. Like literally, I was talking to somebody yesterday and they were like, "Oh yeah, you know, like you like drama and like all these things," and I was like, "Yes, absolutely I do. Like I like collecting it, thank you. Like if I was a dragon, my hoard would be stories and tea. Like I just want the tea. I want the drama. Like give me the story, give me the good little, like I have tea. I'll take it. I love it."
Yeah. You really are the kind of person that you're like, I have no context nor reference for any of the people involved.
And I don't need that. Like
you're just the watcher. You're just the watcher.
Okay, literally.
You just want
literally am.
Information. Like,
this is why Oak and I got along so well. Like, this is why we became friends. It's because I was like, you have stories that I want. It's just that TikTok sound, the like, you have something that I want. That is me and Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you at each other, honestly.
Literally. It's a great time. It's wonderful. It's truly wonderful.
God, yeah, no. I know Bex is about to scalp y'all too for her.
Fuck yeah.
She's about to do like a
kids on bikes
like horror one.
I love Kids on Bikes.
I love Kids on Bikes. Oh my god, it's so good. Yes.
I haven't played it in a few years, but I have played it like for a couple one shots, and it's really fun.
I've never played it, but I've seen it on like some APs and stuff, and so I'm
it's
into
a cool system.
Good. It's so good. It's so much fun. Oh my god.
That one I'm excited for because it's like we're high schoolers in like some like California town. We're nepo babies.
Love. When are you not nepo babies? I'm going to be completely honest with you. When are you not?
We always end up that way. Like they even are kind of I think
honestly, none of you could ever play a nobody from nowhere because you're like, no, I have all of this story. Let me give it to you.
Correct. I think it's also mostly all of us are a little, we just don't care enough to keep track of money in any game. So it's like, what if I just have Daddy's card?
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to price things in World. Well, and it's also like with VTM, like
I have Mom's black card on deck.
Alyssa's characters are truly always nepo babies, including
Alyssa's characters for sure are always
including her vampire character Nox, who like is the only one that has a good relationship with his sire, and you know, is just like, he's like, hey, you can live here forever and you're not bothered. He's like, great, chief.
Yeah. In VTM, I technically am a nobody from nowhere. I just have a bad reputation.
No, you're not. In VTM, you're the boogeyman.
Yeah.
That someone let out of the...
But I don't have money.
No.
Do you need money when you're the boogeyman? I don't
even know how to use a cell phone.
No, because you don't know how to use it. And it's like you're not left unattended anywhere where you would be interacting and like completing commerce.
Yep. I have my really hot sugar mama that makes sure that I don't do something bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really excited for when Revna starts, if Revna ever starts questioning Carmilla a little bit, because I was like, hey, I have not a thought on the elevator music for that redheaded woman. And she's like,
head empty.
I was literally out in the 1700s, years. Took a nap, and now I'm here, and I don't know how anything works. So you are my lifeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you tell me that saying something like this is going to be rude, then I'll keep that in mind. But
yeah. See, that's the one difference so far between us is I love the mechanic of money in game. Y'all remember when I literally built out the entire fucking tavern when it went, oh, by the way, you're not the owner of the tavern. And I went, okay, let me just go over here.
You're like, I have a spreadsheet
literally
for the inventory and the profits of everything. And I was like,
damn. See what we have in the back rooms.
Literally, honestly, quite literally, yes.
Honestly, though, so
how many
fitting
wheels of cheese we got?
So fitting with the canon of like Reyna having been literally a noble princess and she's trying to start a tavern, and I'm like, I literally don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
I bought the building. So like
that's it.
What do we do?
And then Kay ran it and went, okay, don't worry, I've got a menu, we have pricings, we have money we're gonna make now, it's okay.
I'm like, cool, I'll be upstairs. Call me if you need me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Call me if we are ever running out of money. I'll find it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wild fucking times.
Absolutely wild times.
Yeah, no, there's no money. I think there's no money in my VT. We run all, I mean, there's boons and shit like favors, but like that's the economy.
Yeah.
I'm not running. It's hard enough to make the prospect of making character sheets for all my NPCs, which I've been putting off for the month because they're all so high level. I don't want to know how much this millennia old vampire has. I don't know.
The answer to that is all of it. And you don't have to worry about it. It's fine.
Like, if you live for a millennia and you're broke, you did something wrong.
I don't want to think about like whether they invested in Apple or not, like back in the 80s, like, or whenever Apple was.
Listen, they all probably invested in everything. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They threw money at everything, and whatever caught on negated the losses.
Yeah.
And then they just ate wherever, the people failed. It's fine.
Pretty much.
What you need to know is that past a certain generation, their amount of money is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. That's just what I assume.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We're here for a good time and a long time. It's just it's like
yes.
Correct.
It's like the stat. And
then there's Revna that's like, I have a dead rat in my pocket. Is that good for you?
I have a dead rat and a paintbrush. Which I feel like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Does Revna have like some... Does Revna have like some walking around money? Like, you don't really need it though. Like, you're not going to 7-Eleven.
I think Carmilla maybe gives her some walking around money. She barely knows what's worth that though. I don't think she has a concept for what she has.
Maybe have some money in case you needed to like bribe someone.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And Carmilla wasn't with you. But it's also like, I would rather you not try to do this yourself because it's probably going to end up with a person dead. But it's like, just in case. It's like, here's a bit of money.
I have an emergency amount of, like, we're in London, so pounds. I have an emergency amount of pounds that she told me would be good to make someone shut up if I needed that. And I have no concept for anything else.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm like, if I need food, I go eat when I need to. But everything else is fine.
Iconic. The head empty, no thoughts.
Only murder. Only murder and women.
Only murder and women. Just a disaster lesbian.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, truly. I'm really excited for Bex's new character because she's like a younger Kindred. Like, it'll all kind of come out of like how she's in the same generation as everyone else, in the game. But when Bex and I were talking last time about her, she's like, is my character the only one who can drive a car? And I was like, 1000% yes.
Damn. Okay.
Because she's only been a kindred for like a few, like less than a decade.
Oh, damn.
Like maybe.
Yeah, she's baby.
It's
like,
either 2 years or 4 years. I can't remember which.
Itty bitty baby.
God, yeah. I can't wait for the day that Revna accidentally, or like for whatever reason, has to get behind the wheel, and she's like, "What the fuck, bro?
Y'all can walk. You can walk." Or I mean, like, also
she just
people
gets out.
have.
She's like, "I'll just sprint."
What's also, yeah, it's lately been a thing. Like, Knox has used like his Sire's drivers or something. I mean, you can like, it's London. You can call a cab. You can like,
yeah.
There's a lot of things that could go between, like, could happen before Revna has to get behind the wheel of a car. Although if y'all want,
I just think it would be funny if
go to like an empty parking lot at night and try to teach Revna how to drive, I would be down for that.
That'd be so funny.
I would die laughing. I would.
How do you teach a grandma from the 1700s?
I mean, you have really good eyesight and reflexes.
But the car doesn't have a horse attached to it, and you have to push
the electric horse
levers.
The electric round-hooved horse.
Be like, imagine that there is an invisible horse sitting in front of you, and the little thing on the floor is like the riding crop to be like, hey, you should go, or hey, maybe you should slow down.
Yeah.
Go from there. See what happens.
Yeah. That would be funny.
God, I love my little grandma. She is both grandma and baby at the same time.
Yes.
Truly, yeah.
Yes. I'm like, I can
and also
just
like 6
this.
feet tall. Just big as fuck for no reason.
Oh, we love that though. We're here for it.
It's me. I only function in 2 fonts, and that's big and hot and small and chaotic.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have exactly it.
I got 2 looks.
I either play a cute little animal friend who is chaos incarnate, or I play a very hot buff woman.
A giant woman, yeah.
Yes. As you should.
That is it.
As you should. Yes.
Or recently, a gay man. And that worked really well. I was in, whenever we were in I did Lorelai Manor.
Lorelai Manor, yeah.
Over on Don't Kill My Character. Shout out to Kate the Great.
That was fun.
And I played a little gay man, and Arthurius, who we just had as a guest, was like, I think my character has a crush on you. And I'm like, yes!
Yes, get it.
I love that I'm just making this gay man hot as fuck for no reason.
For no reason. Why is this wizard so hot?
Honestly, his hotness was just because he was competent.
Yeah. Which is a very wizardly thing to be.
But by God, could he not roll any insight on anybody else? Because I just made it the canon of like he's like he really doesn't care about people beneath him to really look too deep into that.
You don't need to care. Like you're like
that's the damn. I played an artificer and I had like a little steel defender, and like the steel defender could hit. It hit like a freight train. The my little like cat steel defender murdered 2 ink like amalgamation things.
Oh my God.
After I did a little bit about like, oh, Nimbus is going to get them ankles, and then Nimbus killed them. So I guess Nimbus jumps up and gets the ankle and then gets the jugular. But it's like, my artificer couldn't hit for shit. I was like, this is embarrassing, but okay.
Ooh. Oh,
I just popped off with some magic missiles and murked like most of them. And I think Nimbus finished off the last one.
Yeah. We had to speed through that combat because we had role played Too Close to the Sun, and Kay was like, hey, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
We were on a time cap.
As per usual.
But like, that's accurate though for us. It's like, how can I push this to the absolute edge and then keep going?
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, this is a one shot. Be prepared for me to bring in my backstory and romance at least one character before we're done.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to hit all of these milestones in one session. Like you were prepared for like 5 hours, right? Like,
yeah, you have that
just for me.
That is the thing. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like how we play. Like we play 6-hour sessions is a light session for us.
Yeah.
So when we play our normal games, it's like, and not obviously that's not true when we do streams because those are like on the week. We had to go to work. It's a weeknight, but
but like streaming is like doing shorter episodes like that is so wild to me because also, same. Y'all know, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, we can D&D all day. Let's go.
Yeah. We set aside a weekend for that bit.
Literally in college, there was one campaign that I was a part of. I don't talk to any of those people anymore. It's fine.
It'd be like that. There's always a few piles of ashes.
Literally ashes. But this one campaign that we had, we literally like would set aside like our weekend when like, and we would plan this out like a couple months in advance. We'd be like, great, nobody do anything else because we are playing D&D. We would like reserve rooms in like different like buildings, whatever,
like the library or whatever for the student
literally
center,
all over the place. Yeah, it was so good, and we literally would play for like all day. Like we would start at like 9 a.m, take a break at like noon, go like walk down the street, go grab food, come back, and keep playing till like 8 o'clock at night. And we would literally like all day. Like that game, we literally we got so far off track of what we were supposed to be doing that the DM went, okay, I'm done planning a story. This is now a free world. Whatever the fuck you want to do, have at it because I'm done planning. You've created your own bed. Now you're gonna lie in it.
Yep. We all live here now.
Yeah, we all live here in the mess, in the nitty gritty.
God, nitty gritty indeed.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, it looks like it's coming up on time, but thank you so much for joining us, Kay.
It's wild that it's been 50 minutes. That's crazy.
I know.
That's insane.
I fully expected it.
I mean, I knew that was going to happen too, but like,
yeah.
God. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And now you've officially met all of the Table Talk girlies.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
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 Table Talk is a podcast brought to you by Mythos Media Productions, bringing you a new episode every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcast. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at Table Talk RPG, or check us out at our website, mythosmediaproductions.godaddyscites.com. All business inquiries can reach out to us via email at info@mythosmediaproductions.com.